Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Merry Christmas yesterday by the time you're probably watching this video, even though it's Christmas evening at the time that I'm recording this video. But Merry Christmas everyone. Hope everyone had a happy and safe holiday. Here in this review, we have the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection, Hasbro Pulse exclusive, the Mighty Morphin Metallic Pink Ranger. Now this figure was revealed during the Hasbro Pulse Con. What we didn't have San Diego Comic-Con, so they did the PulseCon announcement thing, weird, whatever, live stream. But it had a release date of December 6th or something like that, or 15th, whatever it was. Hasbro Pulse actually met that deadline they shipped out. I've had it for a few days now. I just haven't had a chance to review it, but here we have it. The packaging is really awesome, but I'm just now noticing on my packaging the glitter effect that they actually put onto the box is slightly off from where it should be. So I have a pink line right there that does not have the glitter, and then even down here you can see it's just ever so slightly off, but it is a really cool concept that they actually put that glitter into the packaging, as you could see the texture of it. So that is actually a nice touch. One of the few figures that actually the civilian head sculpt is actually on the figure already and not the helmeted head. This is the Catherine, don't remember her last name, but this is the cat version of the Pink Ranger after Kimberly had already left the show. So it looks like to be the same exact accessories, we just get that metallic look to it, which it's translucent plastic, so I'm not actually the biggest fan of doing that. I don't know if there was any other way to put the glitter into it, because in the show when they got the metallic armor, it was very glittery and shiny. Bandai and their Legacy collection just went with a shiny metallic type of plastic. Had the sheen to it that just looked a little shiny. I think that is a better way of representing the metallic armor. That's probably just me, because I'm just not a fan of the translucent plastic. What tends to happen is it tends to be a little bit gummy, and then you can see the inside parts of the plastic and the joints and everything, so it just gets kind of weird. But we'll see how this figure comes out. But the side artwork looking very awesome. Everything about this thing on the packaging and everything is the exact same as the original Pink Ranger. They just kind of added the glitter effect to it. And we know that these are 3D render, computer render images, not the actual figure itself. So they just added the glitter effect to it there. But that's enough of that. So let's open this up and take a look at the figure. Okay, so here is the metallic Pink Ranger figure out of the package with all of the accessories. Now, she does come with all of the same accessories, but we do get the added bonus Zeo Crystal, which seems a little bit odd that we would get it now with just the, you know, the metallic version, but it's still cool nonetheless. Now, I had seen that it is actually glow in the dark, so we will actually check out and see how well we can get that on video. I don't know, so we will have to kind of see there, but there it is. It looks pretty good. The Catherine head sculpt I think looks pretty good. I think it sits a little too high on the neck, but again, it's just the translucent plastic that I'm just not the biggest fan of. And then with that, we get this weird pearlescent look to like the gloves and the boots, really when they should still basically be white. The same with the diamonds on the chest of the suit and the belt, and then the line on the skirt piece. It should just all be white, and it's not really white. It's kind of that satin look to it. So it's just kind of unfortunate. But let's zoom in and take a look at the accessories and compare those to the original, and then we'll see how well that Zeo Crystal glows in the dark. Okay, so there you go. Yes, you can see it. It glows in the dark. It tends to get hard to focus, but there it was. It glows in the dark. So yes, so you just kind of have to hold it up to a light for a little bit, and then you can get it to glow in the dark. Okay, so looking at the accessories, we have her power bow here, and it's not exactly the same. So it's not just done in white plastic. It's done in this this like satin looking pearlescent grayish white plastic that's similar to like the hands and the gloves, where it's not really white, it's that a little bit off color, which I don't really like. We have the arrow piece, and this looks to be the same arrow that came with the Kimberly Hart version. There we get the blaster, the power blaster, and then this one actually has silver paint on it, just like the Pink Ranger came with, but the other Rangers actually had white on the power blasters, so not really sure what's going on there, but it is the same on both Pink Ranger figures. We have the Aero Effect piece, and this actually has some glitter into the plastic as well. And because of that, we get a different color. As you can see, this one was more of all, the entire thing was all pink translucent color, whereas this one kind of goes into a pink color, into a clear color. So it's actually pretty cool. But there is some glitter in it, not a lot, but there is some in there. We get interchangeable hands, and these hands, again, are kind of that translucent, pearlescent color. Not really white, and I just don't really like it, but they are translucent. And of course, we have the helmeted head sculpt, and with that, we get this off-white color that's painted on there instead of white for the helmet. Again, I really would have preferred white, because from what I could see in the show, that color didn't really change. It was just an added glitter to the effect, and so it just kind of comes off weird. So even the pink of this actually is translucent, and I just don't care for it. You guys let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on it, but let's take a closer look at the figure now. Okay, so there it is. This is the Catherine Hillard head sculpt, or Cat for short. Funny that the actress's name was actually Catherine as well, but in the show it was spelled with a K. In real life, her real name starts with a C. So it's just kind of an interesting little side note. I think the head sculpt is pretty good. Now, one thing that I thought, the Kimberly Hart head sculpt was pretty good, which also had a smiley face to it, which some people thought was like scary looking and like awful. I thought was really good. Looking at this Catherine head sculpt, this cat one, yeah, it looks kind of creepy. It's almost scary looking, because it's almost like she's got those beady eyes and she's got this like evil smile, like ha ha he he ha. But I mean, it still looks pretty good. Again, I just think it's too high on the peg the way it sits. The hair looks good, so I have no real complaints. It just looks a little bit off to me. But again, the sculptors are going off of footage from almost 30 years ago with no HD, no restoration to it, I'm sure. So it's kind of, in my opinion, it's going to be harder for them to really nail the likenesses, whereas they could do it a little bit easier with a lot of the newer seasons. SPD, I know, was still a pretty old season, but they seem to be knocking those head sculpts out of the park, so maybe that's kind of where that cutoff was. But even then, you know, I'm not sure what the time frame of it was, but it's definitely, I would say, over 5 years at least, you know, after the Mighty Morphin and all of that. So there was some time, but you guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Catherine head sculpt. I think it is pretty good. I would have preferred not to have a smile, but that's just me. See, it looks pretty normal from the side, but it's just that straight on view where it's like, hey. But you guys let me know. So let's pop that head off, because I will not be displaying any Rangers with the civilians' heads anyway. I always do it with the helmeted heads, because they are Power Rangers. Now, if we ever got civilian suits, I wouldn't mind that. So there it is. So that looks really good. So the metallic, Hasbro wanted to put the glitter into the figure to represent the metallic. I get it. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. They should have just done something with the regular Pink Ranger to make it shinier, like a regular metallic coated paint or something instead of the glitter. I don't think the glitter was necessary. I think it can make it work, but I do get what they were going for. I just really don't like the translucent look to it, and that's just me, because you could see all the parts and everything in the figure. The hinges are not going to be the translucent plastic color, well, at least for the elbows anyway. It looks like the knees, they did go with the translucent plastic, so that actually works well. But then you look at the inside of that elbow and you just get that pink plastic there, and it's just really noticeable. I'm just not the biggest fan, but you guys let me know down in the comments below. I'm probably complaining too much, but you guys let me know. But the figure looks pretty good throughout. Again, I would have preferred white. I know I keep repeating that, but that's how I really feel. Looking at the paint apps, I don't really have issues on paint apps anywhere. I got some of that whitish color rubbing off there on the glove. That was right out of the package like that. Not that big of a deal to me, but looking at the Morpher, and it's slightly off. Like the Morpher, the Power Coin was painted a little too far to the side. Not that big of a deal, but when we look at the Hasbro Power Rangers, we got to look at the paint details, because according to everybody, they're absolutely terrible on every single figure, and that's just one example. I think they're actually pretty good overall, where there are some opportunities. Yes, things like this are kind of a big miss, because I don't think mine is the only one that's slightly off-centered like that. That might be something that happened onto a bunch of them. So there it is. Now let's zoom out and see her articulation. You know, the tricky thing with these metallic figures being $5 more at $25, all we get extra is the Zeo crystal. So, you know, it is what it is, but this could be the opportunity to get the Aisha head sculpt for the Yellow Ranger. So she can look down this much, she can look up quite a bit, so there's no problems there. We don't really get a whole lot of pivot going in there, but you do get a full rotation swivel in that head. The arm can go out that high up. You get a full rotation. Of course, there is the butterfly joint, so you can get the arm to go back a whole lot, getting forward somewhat, so you can do some crossbody, but not a whole lot, especially since we don't have an upper bicep swivel. We have a swivel at the single jointed elbow, and you get just about a 90-degree bend with it. The wrists both swivel, and they have the right has the horizontal hinge, whereas the left have the vertical hinge, like so. We have the diaphragm joint, so she could pivot to her left that much. She could pivot to her right that much. She can go back that much. She can come forward just a little bit, and then with that inverted ab crunch total, she can bend forward that much. Going back, she can go that far. There is no waist swivel, but you do get the swivel at the diaphragm joint. Of course, legs go out that far apart. She can kick forward that high and can get to go out a little bit as well. You have an upper thigh cut there. You get a double jointed knee like so. There is the boot cut right at the top, so you get that boot swivel. Foot hinges down that much. You get a little bit of a hinge going up, so that is good. Ankle pivot and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So good articulation, the same that we see with all the Rangers. Okay, and here's the side-by-side of the two pink Ranger figures. You guys let me know down in the comments below which one you prefer. How do you think the metallic Ranger figures have come out with this release? You know, it's the only one we have to compare it to, but do you want to see more? I'm curious. I mean, I'll buy them all regardless because I'm a completist anyway. But, you know, if I were picking and choosing, I think the metallic I would pass on. Not the biggest fan. You know, I think it was executed best for the look that they were going, because I don't think they could do glitter any other way that wouldn't like flake off and things like that. But I think Bandai Legacy Collection did it better. But you guys let me know down in the comments below your opinion on that. Okay, and for my final thoughts, the Catherine head sculpt looks just okay. All around, I think I'm a little disappointed in the figure. The Zeo Crystal is a nice touch, but I am disappointed in the metallic look. But if this is how we get those additional head sculpts, so be it. I still think they should go like the Ninjetti route or the Power Rangers movie route for the Catherine head. Well, actually, Catherine wasn't in the movie, so but they can release the Catherine head sculpt with Turbo. Or Zeo even. So it's just kind of one of those things. You know, I'll take it. Mighty Morphin, you know, I think these figures are going to sell regardless. I'll put a link in the video description below. I'm not sure if she's still available or if she's sold out. With Hasbro Pulse exclusives, they tend to sell out and then come back in stock later on, go out, come back in stock later on. So I'm sure she'll be available. Whether the rest of the team in metallic armor gets released the Hasbro Pulse route or through a different retailer as an exclusive, or if they do a special wave or something, who knows how they'll do it. But, you know, I'm sure they're going to continue doing it. And just the translucent plastic, it's a killer for me. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.